trauma. And the thing about trauma is we carry it for a long time and we don't know when we need to let it go because we don't understand. Sometimes we bleed on other people who didn't do anything to us. And when you continue to ignore the trauma, like by saying, this is just how I was raised, this is all I know, you keep yourself holding on to the trauma that you want to heal from, but you don't even know how to take the band aid off. You got to learn how to let that trauma go so that you can heal. And that brings us back to where we started this a whole conference about is healing, letting go of trauma, but first acknowledging that you've experienced some trauma so that you can begin your healing process. So I'm gonna get on up out of the way and we're gonna bring Miss Blaque Diamond on up because this is Mama the Blaque Diamond. She gonna tell you some things.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, this has been some morning. Good afternoon. I've listened to each one of my sisters here, and I said to myself, how do you follow any of their stories? And then I realized that I'm not going to follow them, I'm going to walk alongside them because it is a matter of the heart. I, when I was, well, I wasn't what you call approached, but I saw that we were doing this and I asked to be a part of this. Trauma no more is what I had chose to do, but I didn't know what resonated with me more with the things that I've been through. I didn't know if I should talk about being tampered with as a child. And I can say that I'm not going to say me too because it happened before the Me Too movement. So I say me also. I don't know if I wanted to talk about um, the time that a hit was put out on me and my family, and we had to leave everything behind and move to a state. And I say sometimes in a joking way that we landed here because most people, when they move because they want to and they're going after something. But we were running from something. So we wind up in the state that we're in now. But after being here for a little while, and I can tell you that for the first 6 months, I cried every day because I thought about everything that I left behind. But then I had to think about what was with me, and that was my husband and my children. But then I thought, oh no, I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe I'll discuss and tell everybody how 3 weeks my husband was laying in a morgue before I found his body. And the state knew he was there. They knew who he was. He had his identification on him. Heck, he even had my information on him. So why didn't they call me? So I still believe to this day that it's foul play, and it's been going on 19 years now. And it's kind of hard sometimes to think about it. But then I said, no, I'm not going to talk about that either. I think what I wanted to talk about was witnessing a murder and going into the witness protection program. Some people think that that's just talk, that it doesn't happen. People don't really go in there, but we did. Me and my children, we wind up in the witness protection program. And it wasn't easy. We had to look over our shoulders, and to this day, I'm still looking over my shoulder, not knowing who to trust, not knowing who's in the room, not knowing who's still out there. And that's even from us moving from the other state. Those two things had nothing to do with each other. But then I said, no, I don't want to sit and talk about that either. I said, I'm going to talk about something that I've been doing for the last 4 years, and that's been trying to save my life and prove my innocence of something that I was accused of that could have ruined me. And if it had not been for the women that you had seen earlier, and I'm not going to say my God because he's everybody's, but I keep him as a secret sometimes because that's my Father God. And he's pulled me through. So he's told me trauma no more. Overcoming past trauma to lead a fulfilling life. To overcome past trauma and lead a fulfilling life, it's essential first to acknowledge and understand the impact of the trauma. So I delved into healing, which involves seeking support from therapy. And yeah, I'm not going to say that therapy is a bad thing. Certain people say, oh, no, not therapy. We don't go to therapy. Well, we have been in therapy all our lives, whether we believe it or not. building self compassion, and developing resilience, which is what someone spoke about earlier.